So thank you, Naresh. Thank you for taking the time to come and meet with us. And so this is part of a series of videos we're doing. So Naresh, tell us a bit about yourself, your background.
Well, I qualified as an accountant. It's not something I wanted to do because in my early years I actually wanted to be a car mechanic.
Really?
Truth be told.
That's the first time you told me that.
But, you know, Asian dad, sorry dad, it was like, you know, this is something you should do, you know, and the opportunity came along. And I liked it, you know, I liked what the role involved. I think it suited my personality. I'm fairly organised, I'm fairly methodical, so the skill sets sort of matched. And that's what I did successfully for many years. But there was a disconnect, you know. I felt that the way we were servicing clients didn't give me the fulfillment at the end of the presentation of, you know, the numbers. And it was weird because we thought that the role was to actually prepare the numbers. But now, of course, we think very different. The role is actually that the numbers start the journey. And it's amazing how that transforms the way we run the business.
Well, we'll get to that in a sec because that's kind of your journey.
Sure.
But going back to something, there's been a theme in the videos that we've had already with the interviews, is this kind of ending up in a career, finding yourself doing something successfully most of the time. And people looking around going, you know what, there's got to be more for me in my life. And it was kind of, those were the things you were starting to think about.
Definitely.
And then, obviously, I've worked with your company and worked with Allans, the accountants, for 4.5, I think 5 years in May.
5 years,
and so prior to, say, being engaged or working with you, how did business look back then? I mean, if you can get back there, because it's quite a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
difficult. How did it look back then?
I think it was, you know, if we looked at what business was about, it was about delivering on a product. It was about, you know, clients coming to us because they needed us, but they didn't necessarily want us. And it was about delivering on the compliance part of what accountancy involves. But we knew there was more, and clients knew there was more, and this is the thing, but they weren't able to articulate that.
It wasn't really that, it wasn't that
Correct.
Palpable.
Correct.
And also, I think, also as my background as an entrepreneur, I've had many relationships with accountants that have come and gone, and none of them seemed to really understand me as an entrepreneur. What they were doing is doing some kind of reconciliation, administrative tick box. And one of the things I think when I first started challenging you guys in the early days was you're basically, as accountants, you're almost an outsourced office for the HMRC. You're not really adding any real value to the business or the organisation.
Definitely, and I think it's one of those things where you do the do to try and get results, which is obviously what you've taught us, but it's about being someone. And now the connection happens because entrepreneurs, which is a large part of our client base, really say you connect with us in a way that we never used to connect with financial people in the past.
So one of the things that I've kind of talked about in terms of accountancy businesses, and whatever business you're in, accountants spend a lot of time in the past. They're reconciling somebody else's business, somebody else's numbers. They don't really have that emotive relationship to it. They're doing a filing process, or they're going through their, you know, they're going through their process of getting it ready to submit and get it passed and move on. So a lot of the time, entrepreneurs don't really know the amount of value a great accountancy firm can add to them. And I'm saying this not just as a business coach talking to an accountant, but any business you're in has other depths of value that you're probably not aware of.
Definitely.
And that was the thing that kind of became apparent.
Definitely, and I think partly through coaching, partly through empowering us and really learning about what we were about, we found that it was always there, but it gets hidden with layers of, you know, about what you think business should be about. You get led by your regulators saying you should be a certain way, by other businesses saying it should be that way. But what you learn is you make of it what you will. We really came out of our shell. I think it was once when we were coaching and you mentioned something about freedom for clients. And that was like the light bulb moment that really told us that, you know, that it's about how you look at it will transform the things you do to get what you want.
So when you look at things in a new way, you see new opportunities.
Definitely.
But going back to your own personal journey, I really appreciate you sharing this with us, because it's been I remember when we first started, you weren't that impressed.
With you?
Yeah, you were like, "Well, we wasted our time with this guy. You know, we can find this stuff out." And I think we had about 3 months of kind of getting to know each other. And
That's right.
And obviously, in any relationship, no matter if it's business coaching or whatever, you're developing your relationship. And then the penny dropped for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that moment when it kind of...
Yeah, I think it was just, at the beginning it's always going to seem very hard work because you're putting us into a space that we're not used to. It's very uncomfortable, it doesn't seem safe, and it's not what we know. Especially for very technical skill sets like accountants or solicitors, it's like, well, we know what we're doing, who are you to tell us to change that?
And you've invested... sometimes decades of time and effort understanding all this technical work.
And the way I explain it to my clients now is, my regulators will probably hear this, but, very often when you gain a degree, one of the things that sets in is you become complacent because it's all about the brand of the professional association that you're part of.
Sure.
Whereas actually what I say to my clients is it needs to be about the brand of you. Make yourself the best you can be, and your clients will see that. And that's what
that's the relationship clients have with you anyway. They don't think about the governing bodies or the authorities in the background.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the present. Your business has grown. You've gone through lots of stages. You always feel like you're as far away as you are near to the ultimate goal, but things have changed a lot for you. Can you ever imagine going back to?
No, not at all. And I think, we're just on this journey now of constant innovation, constant improvement, and you become so fulfilled. I'm so passionate in my work. As you know, I've got lots of clients, not because the clients ask me about my coach, but simply because they see the differences in us. And that's great,
Thank you for that, by the way.
No problem. But, they see the differences because they see that we're just so much more passionate, and the language changes. That's key. You can't rehearse some of this stuff. Now from a personal development point of view, we're reading all the time, we're discussing things. There's so many different people that inspire me that I never even knew who they were.
So give us a couple of examples who have been kind of...
I read, obviously I'm a bit techie, so I read a lot about Steve Jobs and what he did at Apple, Simon Sinek, Viktor Frankl, who a lot of people probably don't even know of. And these are the kind of things that really give you added perspective.
So these are more like philosophical questions.
Definitely.
They're more about our sense of purpose, our sense of identity.
Definitely.
What is our value out in the world, as opposed to just, I'm an accountant, I want to get some...
And I think, I know it's a coined phrase, but, people buy people. And if you understand people and understand their psyche, then that goes a long way to helping people, in whatever they need, whatever solutions they need.
So if you, I mean, I kind of want to ask you this question, but it's also important for our viewers. If someone is sitting there thinking about taking on a business coach or getting an outside, I mean, with B Collaboration, our proposition is we have a stable of expertise and specialists. I don't like the word experts, I prefer specialists, people that are doing something they really love, they're passionate about, and our view is to put the best person in front of those organisations. And also the other thing is that interference, or if you like, that engagement. And then also along with that, there's growth vouchers, there's growth accelerator funding, there's leadership management, there's all these schemes now. And as an accountant, I mean, you must be saying to people, get some input.
I mean, I did an info slot at networking last week where I said to the guys, you've got to go for these things. And the biggest thing we hear from the people who organise it is not enough people are coming forward. And I think that's a real issue, that businesses aren't being told about these things because their accountants or their finance people aren't tuned to them. So, we always try and tell clients that these things not only are available, but you must use them as a way to really take your business to the next level.
And really, if you take on a coach or consultant that comes in and works with you through these funding schemes, really, given the amount of up to 50% on a lot of it, and some packages is even more than that, depending on what size your business is. But really, if they implement those principles and start taking action in their business, it kind of pays for itself, doesn't it?
Definitely. And I say to clients, look, the the whole element, obviously, because we've been through it, the whole element of being coached and, you know, getting a different dimension and a different differentiator to your business is key. The funding is just the icing on the cake, you know. So even before GA, I was always saying to clients, look, you need to have this combined offering of a coaching arm with the kind of financial expertise that we bring.
And one of the things that people always ask about with, say, I mean, GA, Growth Accelerator and the other funding, there's a little bit of paperwork. Yeah. It's not that painful, is it? And in your experience, when you put your invoice in to claim back any money back?
I think on the last claim that we made for a client, within 15 days,
you were paid.
They got the payment through. So, and I think that it's quoted that, you know, it'll be 30 days or something. So my whole point is, you know, providing you set it out the right way. You know, the government really want to help small businesses, and this is the way that you can really.
And on that note, you know, when you tell small businesses there's this much support available to them, they're quite shocked actually. Sometimes they're a bit sceptical.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. Actually, we've put a lot of people through now Growth Accelerator and the other schemes, and it is a bit painful up front to get the form, to fill a form in.
Correct.
You know, get your accountant or get someone to help you with that, and it can make it really painless. So let's focus back in now on Allans, the accountants, and your future of your business and how you see business evolving. I mean, we've been through a tough time as a society with the so-called credit crunch and finance being. And what I found is that a lot of businesses that are still around probably have to really be good. They have to be streamlined. They have to be efficient. They have to really do a good job. And so, what do we see? How do you see the next 2-3 years panning out?
I think you alluded to it earlier. You know, I think collaboration and the contact. We're in the contact age and collaborative age, and it's really important for businesses for small businesses to join hands and look at what other specialisms can help them serve their clients. You know, we look at being able to solve all our clients' financial requirements, not just the accounting side, because we have a great team of collaborators around us that can help us.
So you have a group of specialists that you can draw upon.
Definitely.
But then also you also work as your firm also provides financial director roles within companies appropriate to their needs.
Correct.
So to help them, give them that financial guidance.
Correct.
And show them how those numbers can really be an expression of their passion to get their special pizza sauce. Pizzas out, fix cars, whatever it is they're
really because again, you know, as companies grow, they need more mentoring, they need more financial input, and we're able to offer that. But you know, personally, I think of myself as an FD for every client I work for,
which is fantastic.
And I say that to my clients because, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, if you have that mindset, you see things and hear things that normally
as opposed
just wouldn't cross your radar.
As opposed to reconciling the past and
definitely. And the books then just become something that need to be done, but it's not what we focus on.
No, absolutely. And then let me just ask you a little bit about B Collaboration. What, you know, you've been part of the journey. I think you were probably
at the very first meeting.
You were probably not just that, but you were prior to its conception.
Yes,
I was saying some of the things. Remember when we first met, I was saying you'll be training people, be showing people the way when we first started coaching. Now those things are happening.
Exactly.
And also being part of this community. What does that mean to you?
It's huge, and I think obviously the reason I got involved at an early stage is because I saw the power of collaboration, and we already do. We were already doing that kind of thing, but it's now just become much more structured by having the the big collaboration brand behind it. So I think you know that's an excellent thing.
And how do you see B Collaboration being of value to your business?
As I said, in all shapes and sizes, you know, I can now look for things, look for my clients' needs in a different way, knowing that we've got specialisms, not just financial specialisms, but if clients want websites, if they want, you know, wills written, if they want anything that relates to a business, we can help them, you know,
So
achieve that.
really, by being part of this community, you're able to add further value and support to your client rather than...
Definitely.
And also, within B Collaboration, we're developing a culture, a way of relationship between people, building a depth to it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just want more business without really putting the work in. And actually, what we want to do is build relationships, and the business is a function of the relationships, as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, and it's something you told us very early on, that profit and profit and money is just a result, and we didn't get it at the time.
Imagine.
But I think now, it's all about, live life with passion, approach a business in the same way, and the money just comes because clients just see that money isn't the object. You're actually out to serve them to the best of your ability.
And how does that make you feel?
Great. I mean, that's what fulfillment is all about. We're making a difference in a way that we never used to before. And so for us, it's had a tremendous impact. I mean, I wake up every day thinking of new ways that I can help my clients. And
so you're having lots of light bulb moments. They're just
lots of them all the time, and that's
your wife must love you. You wake up in the morning, and go right things down. Okay.
But that's what happens when you become empowered. I think the ideas come out of you, and you can really help clients around those.
Fantastic. Well, Naresh, Haldipur of Allans, the accountants, and a member of Big Collaboration, I want to thank you. I think thank you for the generosity of your time, your support for Big Collaboration, and the difference you've made. You've helped me make to your clients, and being part of developing your business has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege. I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.